Hey everyone, spirited drop from the back of a taxi. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I've just got just a crazy amount of cool activity going on at the moment. But as usual, I love to share what patterning I'm seeing, and this one's really for the healers and the sensitives. So I've had a bit of a busy patch speaking with other healers and other psychics, and of whom I support quite a few of in my coaching and my work, that they've been feeling these inexplicable waves of intense emotion. So, and not necessarily around the full moon, which is when this can happen. So, and I have had some of this as well. So it's where you might wake up and you just feel really super sad, and there's nothing in your immediate environment which is triggering that or causing that. So you sort of do a bit of a scan and you're like, no, my immediate relational field in my life is actually good. I'm patching in sad from somewhere else, or it can be anger, or it can also be, what we would call positive vibrations as well, like intense gratitude and intense awe, and I've been getting quite a bit of that as well, but it's not necessarily yours. And the guidance that I've been giving people who are experiencing this, and the reason why I'm making this drop is because I've had a bit of a cluster of questions coming in about what does this mean, what am I feeling, and I really do feel, or this is the conclusion I've come to being a healer and a psychic, and definitely being a sensitive my whole life, is that I feel like when you walk this path, especially the healing path, we can often think that we're, obviously it's a path of continual self-healing and continual improvement and taking responsibility for your own vibes, so you're of service to others. And then we can sort of see our healing work as maybe we do group work or maybe do one-on-one sessions, but it's quite immediate, But I do feel that as you progress in your healing work and you've really chosen this path, that occasionally you are called upon to heal the collective. And I think that's what this is when sensitives feel this. Like you just get this wave of like despondency, or a wave of sadness, or a wave of fear even, and you know that it's not yours, and it can be quite disconcerting because you're feeling all of those feelings. And the guidance that I give the healers that ask me about this is that to heal something you need to be able to perceive it, you need to be able to feel it, and if the collective pain body is really tipping on sadness, or really has a concentration of fear, for example, then I do feel that sometimes if you're open to it as a healer, you're called upon to transmute some of that. And therefore you feel it. It moves through your auric field, it moves through you, so you're aware of it, and then you can get to work and you can transmute it. And of course we've all got beautiful access to transmutation techniques, like I love Tom Glenn. Sometimes if it's really edgy energy, I like to use my body to transmute. Either, I light up my altar and dance, or I might take it to a bike ride, or I might take it to a run and use that kinetic energy to transmute what I'm feeling. And so if you're and I also, the other thing that I'm always been fascinated with are the other, Taoist Buddhist hermitages where they have continual chanting, and they have waves of monks, and they go in shifts and they chant continually right from the ceiling of the world, and my understanding is with a lot of this is that's what they're doing as well. So they're running spiritual patterning through sound into the collective to keep it somewhat imbalanced, somewhat in balance. And so you might look at the news and go, well, it doesn't look very balanced to me. But I wonder what it would be like if there weren't people like healers and sensitives, some of our spiritual folks that work collectively, that keep emanating love and transmuting these really heavy, dense and quite edgy emotions. What would the state of play be? And at least, it's easy for me to hold that frame, and the people that I'm coaching, they go, yeah, that's really useful for me. So instead of feeling overwhelmed by waves of emotion that aren't particularly yours, there's a reason that they're moving through you, because you have the tools and you have the transmutative ability to be able to convert it into something lighter and release it and unlock it. And that in itself eases up some of the tension, because there's a sacredness in it, number one, and secondly, it gives something to do. It gives you something to do, so you're not just pummeled by the waves of collective emotion. And you'll never really know, even if you engage with these feelings as they come through, which aren't all the time, but that they happen, and there seems to be an acceleration of it this year. But I think collectively there's so much uncertainty and weirdness and war this year that I think the collective pain body, the collective fear body, the collective confusion is really peaking. And so I feel like that's why I'm getting a lot more requests from healers and sensitives as to what these experiences are and what they can do about it. I really do feel like that is what's going on, and but the only thing, I guess, which is required is just to trust that and engage when you feel it, because you're never really going to know. We're never really going to know the exact measure, because we're dealing with collective energies when this happens, rather than a one-on-one individual healing dynamic with a client, for example. But anyway, I hope that's useful for you, for the healers, for the sensitives. If you're getting unexplained, intense emotion moving through you, there's a reason, and you're being invited to apply your skills and your ability and your wisdom for the collective. Okay, I hope that's got you thinking. Bye.